Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to our eighth installment of Heartbreak and Hope, the
I can't believe
weekly,
we're on 8.
yeah, I know, right? The weekly meeting between me
Blog.
is a vlog or a blog or a podcast, whatever. It's this thing on YouTube that is approximately 10 to 15 minutes where Reverend Kim and I talk about things that give us hope and that break our hearts. I have the opening words for today. It's a poem by William Stafford, which I actually found in a Parker Palmer book, but it's significant to me, and it's called Ask Me. Sometime when the river is ice, ask me mistakes I have made. Ask me whether what I have done is my life. Others have come in their slow way into my thought, and some have tried to help or to hurt. Ask me what difference their strongest love or hate has made. I will listen to what you say. You and I can turn and look at the silent river and wait. We know the current is there, hidden, and there are comings and goings from miles away that hold the stillness exactly before us. What the river says is what I say.
I weigh in this morning. I was listening to an NPR story about trad wives. And a few weeks ago, on my way in, I was listening to a story on the same program about looks maxing. And yesterday or the day before, I can't recall which, in the New York Times, I was reading an article about people, women who get married and give up their right to vote to their husband or have their husband tell them how to vote. And I've been reflecting on the ways that each of these movements is rooted in gender performance. And it it makes me sad on two levels. The first level is that at a time when other parts of our society are saying you don't have to be bound by definitions of gender and gender roles, and you are free to find your place, that folks feel even more strongly that they have to fit in to these definitions, to the point of giving up their own autonomy, to the point of surgically altering their bodies, which leads to my second heartbreak, which that is that these folks, I feel very much that underneath this compliance to these gender roles is a feeling that being authentic to yourself and to who you are and how you present is that there's this impression that it's not enough, that
You
you're
made
not
me think
enough.
about something that came to my mind about the younger generation in general and how there is a lot of stuff that us older people have not experienced, and that's not uncommon over history. But in this particular moment in history, there are some young people that were raised where there is, even in the Western world, where the world is not a safe place, where the
Mm.
world is a place of, you know, political upheaval, fascism,
Mhm.
pandemics, things that are completely out of their control. And
Climate change.
climate change, war,
Yeah.
and um, and I don't know the brackets of the ages I'm talking about, but young millennials on, um, the messages the world gives these young people is there's nothing for you here. There's, it's not business as usual, but we're gonna trick you into thinking it is. And so there's
Mm.
a sense of at the base of this body modification, like Mar-a-Lago plastic surgery, looks maxing, and other things, and other mental illnesses and feeling unsafe, um, is the world is not a good place.
Mm.
I'm not saying that the world is not a friendly place because it never is, but there is no connection. And that is what breaks my heart, that there is the lack of connection. People don't understand, young and old alike, they don't realize, and we don't realize we're missing something. And that something is a sense of being held in good
Community.
times and bad. And community, it's starting to be here again, but it's gonna take a minute. That's something that connection take a long time. That's part of it. The cravenness of the world is part of it, but lack of community is the thing that is the center that is not holding.
Mm.
I guess I was reflecting, and it's part of what I was reflecting about. Um, my heartbreak is that um, my mom died a year ago, and when people die, and you know, everybody grieves differently, but when people die, the thing that I found myself thinking about was, did I say enough? Did I talk to her enough, or did I say all the things I wanted to say? And um, the sense of community tells you that it's not in that last moment of life or in last months of life, that it's a continuous thing. It's like it ties into the sense of being part of a family or a larger community or a chosen family, that it's not the one word you say that you had to say, but it's a lifetime of words said that is
Mm.
important, a lifetime. And that's what I think is missing. So
Mm.
people stay on the surface because they're scared, because underneath, stuff is underneath is difficult and takes time.
This weekend we celebrated the 4 members in our congregation who are in their 90s.
Yay.
And 2 of them are 98. They've lived almost a century. And I have no reason to think that they're not going to make it to 100. And I think about all that they've seen in those almost 100 years. And that gives me hope. They've lived through, they've both lived through World War II, through Vietnam, through all kinds of world turmoil and huge technological shifts. And they're still here and they're still engaged with their community. It's, I want to be them when I grow up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're engaged with their community.
They are engaged with their community.
And I mean, genetics aside, it is a proven fact that older people that are active and engaged live longer.
And people who participate in their church communities live longer and are
Yes.
happier.
Yeah, so like participate in the church community, people who are watching this.
Yeah,
You'll live
yeah.
long.
Earth Day is coming up, which is a community celebration for our planet. And that too, it is an act, a hopeful act to participate in the care of our planet, especially in this time of climate change. And we will be celebrating here at the church with a Earth Day service on April 19th. Our theme is the Studio Ghibli movie My Neighbor Totoro. And if you have not seen it, we highly encourage you to take a few minutes, a couple hours, not quite two, and watch the film before you come to church that Sunday.
Weirdly, today is also the anniversary of my ordination. And that gives me hope. Because every year I check in, it's like, am I doing the thing? Am I like the thing that they asked me to do or they're hoping that I would do? And so I eventually like I found the script for my ordination and I put it on my notes app so I can look at it. And I still feel, yes, that's the thing. That's the thing I want to do and that's the thing I'm doing and that gives me hope. I am where I want to be spiritually. Well, I can always improve, but like the change of career, the change of lifestyle is still, yeah, it's still there. It's not that I thought it was empty or anything like that. It's good to check in on motivation from now every now and again.
Great.
Yeah. So that's entirely like all about my life, but um we're all part of this, the world
Yeah.
which we are with our things.
And we bring our whole selves.
Yes. And maybe being our whole selves, like being ourselves, uh, can model how to be in a community full of our whole selves. So that's a thing.
We are currently in the middle of Passover, and many of our neighbors and some of our congregants are practicing uh, Seder's, having Seder dinner at home or with community this week. And the Seder dinner it's also inherently hopeful about survival and making a way forward when the way seems impossible.
Yeah. And community.
Let's see what our closing words are. I'm going to pull a card again from Trisha Hersey's Rest deck. Here we go. I am not a machine. I am a divine human being.
Amen.
Amen.